Hi, welcome back. So October and November season is parent-teacher conference season, and that's when you kind of meet with your parents. In my district, we have to try to do 100% of our parents, meet with them one-on-one, either on the phone or face-to-face. So I've created this little cheat sheet, you could say, where I've listed behaviors and with a scale from 1 to 4 and a self-reflection for my students that I share with their parents. So that's what I will be talking about today. Okay, so let's just get started with this. I have been working on parent conferences this week, and it has been really stressful just because this year I'm kind of summarizing 9 weeks instead of 6 weeks like I used to before. So I kind of made this for my kids first. This is an auto reflection, and this is in Spanish because I do teach bilingual kids, but I can also make it available in English. But with this, the kids are basically self-reflecting. They tell me how they feel about reading, writing, math, science, and social studies. And there's a scale of like super happy, normal, like blah, and then sad. So my kids first, we get started with like, tell me honestly how you feel. And I start this like a week before it's even meet teacher night, parent-teacher conference. Then we move on to like, what's my favorite subject? What is my least favorite subject? What am I good at? And what would I like to do better? So my kids are writing this down, and I kind of tell them to be honest with me, that the only people that are going to see it is their parents and myself, and that's it. It's really interesting to see how if they feel really sad about reading, they're going to want to be better in reading. It has worked out really well for me in the past, so this time I kind of made a template for it because I used to use everybody else's that I would find on Teachers Pay Teachers, but it just didn't provide, either it was too much information or not enough. So I think this is a pretty good balance. I show parents this part in the middle of our conference. And I kind of made this conferencing with parent and teacher. I write the students' names, the date, and I have them in scale from 4 to 1. 4 being like the kid is always doing this, he is a superstar, or he or she is a superstar. 3 is that usually they're doing it. 2 is sometimes, and 1 is never. So it's just having a positive attitude when they come to school, maintaining attention in school, working calmly, participating in class. He or she is trying their best. They are paying attention in class or in small groups or in conferencing. They're doing their work on time. As a second grade teacher now, I realize that a lot of kids take their time and they really don't want to finish stuff. So I kind of made that little section here. They work well with others. They demonstrate self-control. They work with detail in mind. This is really important when it comes to reading and writing, especially in those math models. They show respect to others. They follow directions in their arts, music, and PE classes, in the cafeteria, library procedures, and in the classroom too. This one's really important to me, and that's why I added asking for help. If my kids are aware that this is a new section that they're learning and they're willing to ask for help, I really, really want this. With bilingual classes, usually kids just nod, and I don't really know if they know it, but I like to have this in there because I tell my kids that asking for help is very important, either for myself or from a fellow classmate. The very last section is working independently. Coming from 3rd grade to 2nd grade, I've seen that kids depend a lot on me to give them that positive reinforcement, but I really want them to gain confidence in themselves and just know that they're right and tell me why they're right, and that's why I put independence there. At the bottom, I added a spot for where you could add evaluations or test scores. I usually put their reading level in English and in Spanish. I also put their math assessment, science assessment, social studies assessments, and reading and writing. And here they have the scale that we use as a district, which is a 1, 2, 4. When I'm doing teacher-parent conferences, I usually start, this one is my first piece. I go over it, I explain what I'm looking for, and I give examples for each one of them. That way parents know that it's not just me scoring it however I want to. I give examples for each one. I also tell them if they come into the classroom, like, do you see these behaviors? Do you want me to change it? And why do you think that? I think having an open communication with my parents has been really great. And this year, my parents are really, really helpful. I move on to this one. It's I am very proud of you. It just says, dear and with love. This is something new I'm starting. I usually do little notes for my kids, and I do them every 3 weeks, and I do positive phone calls home every 2 weeks. But this one, I have the parents writing the kids a note, which is really sweet to see. And I want them to write something that they're proud of. I usually see a lot of the parents this year, they're like, oh, I don't know what to write. And I kind of tell them to just go back to this page or anything I provided during the Meet the Teacher conference and add that piece in there. It's really sweet to see the parents writing and how proud the parents actually feel. I added one with an O because in Spanish we have masculine and feminine. So we have querido for a boy and querida for a girl. And this is kind of how I base my my conferences. I first start with this piece. I go into providing examples from the test or anything that the specials teachers provide for me. And I kind of give them examples, and we go on through the evaluations, like tests that they've been taking. Then I move on to the self-reflection piece. So I tell the parents, like, I see your kid as a whole, and this is how they're feeling. If they're here in the angry part, I want to take them to the next level, which would be the neutral side. And it goes to the same. If they're happy, I want to take them to the extremely happy. Then I provide some time for them to fill this out, and I explain why I'm using it. Then we end the note on a positive. I tell them something I am proud of their kid for. It could be either a social aspect, a communication, language, or academic. So that's kind of what I do whenever I'm doing a teacher and parent conference. I like to start with something really nice. I tell them one growth, and then I end with another positive. If you have any questions, please let me know, and hopefully you like this because it helped me a lot during this week. I will have a link available. I will be adding the English part to this. I have a teammate that would love to use this, and I am working on an English part for her. So I'll be adding that in. So if you buy this, you'll get the English and the Spanish. Because you watched this video, I am going to include a promo code that will be popping up on the screen, and the link will be below. Remember, this is going to be in English and in Spanish because I know a lot of people have trouble. Like, I had trouble finding something in Spanish, but my teammates have really liked using this in English. So I will include that for you. Thank you so much for watching. And if you are not subscribed yet, please subscribe and like this video. Bye.